So we're in the Magic Kingdom parking lot. I'm going back to Disney for the first time since they've reopened. And now they've been open for several months now, so it's not really like a big woo-ah for most people. But I'm very excited. It's super like overcast and kind of been off and on raining my whole drive over here, but still excited. So we're in the TTC now. You see the monorail behind me. We're gonna head down towards the ferry boat. First off, like the whole health screening, security, super easy, like even easier than before the parks were open. Because now they just have you go through like a big, basically scanner. They don't do bag check unless you're like secondarily selected. Also, it's raining again, but that's cool. We're good. We're good.
Guys, these people are all that's going to fit on this boat. So as soon as they get out of the way, we'll get you down there out of the rain. Sorry, but I can only. This is my smallest.
Why is there so many beaches?
Once you've arrived at the upper deck, find yourself.
How you doing?
Great. Perfect.
Thank you.
Look, it's gonna be the first time I don't trip over these. Oh, it's stuck in those.
We're in. Walk down Main Street. It's probably the most crowded area just because everyone has to go through it. But it still is fine. And now we're going into Space or Tomorrowland, words. And we're gonna go see about riding Space Mountain. Very sad. The People Mover is not running. It's like our favorite ride. We'll ride it like 3 or 4 times. But alas, it is down. Very unfortunate. It is about 9:30 right now, so I had actually parked probably around 8:50 or so, and then got on the ferry about 9 o'clock. I think it was 9:03. And then it was, about 9:25 by the time I got in the park. So it is a little slower just because there's a lower capacity. They have you spaced out, and you have to stand on like all these numbers and stuff to get on the ferry. And then once you're on the ferry, you're either in the top section or the lower section. They'll tell you which one you're in. If you have a stroller, you'll always be on the lower section there. But you go and you stand on your dots on the ferry, and it was a little slower, but they were running all 3 ferries, which I thought was pretty cool. Typically they wouldn't do that on a Tuesday at this time. You can see the like outer shell of Tron now is going up. We'll try to get some better pictures of that later. So we rode Space Mountain. It's good. It's like a 5-minute wait, so it's awesome. Now we're heading over into Adventureland. I might ride Pirates. We'll see what the line is currently looking like. I think it was like 20 minutes last I checked, but it might be longer now that I've hiked all the way over here. Rivers of America is drained right now. It's kind of sad and eerie. You can see the track that the riverboat follows. In case you didn't know that was on a track and it wasn't like a actual steering boat. Very appropriately themed sign for the land. I appreciate that.
So swell! From all of us to all of you.
Thank you.
already back on the ferry. I'm gonna head out. I didn't ride anything besides, of course, Space Mountain, just because by the time I got over towards like Pirates and all that, rides were already starting to hit that 30-40 minute point, and I wasn't really willing to commit that much time to it. I did get the Raspberry Swirl Dole Whip float, which was amazing. I was very excited that they brought it here, because last time I had it, it was in Disneyland, and we didn't have it here yet. So that is very exciting. By the entrance here, kind of typically where the premium parking is. I guess those cones there separate the $45 parking and the $25 parking. But park somewhere in here and figure out where. Back a couple rows. So I'm back in my car. It was a very quick trip. Really, I wanted to come and see the Christmas stuff. That was the main goal. And kind of just check it out, see what it was like, since we haven't been back since they reopened. I didn't think the mask was an issue. I took it off once when I ate my Dole Whip, and then another time when I drank my bottle of water. But you just go to like a secluded area, and you have to be stationary, so you just sit down. I drank my water real quick and just put it back on and moved on with my day. But it was fine. Other than that, I never touched it. Again, it was only maybe like 2.5 hours that I was wearing it. So that's not that bad. Maybe if you were wearing it all day. But I actually had went ahead and grabbed a couple masks. That way, if the one I was wearing had gotten like too gross or sweaty, I could have just switched it out for like a nice dry one. So if you're doing a full day, that's something I would recommend. Another thing I did, typically I bring this bottle with me everywhere I go, especially in the parks, to refill it. I wasn't sure what the situation with like water fountains and refilling would be. So I had actually brought a bunch of just like bottles of water. I brought in 3, and I only drank one of them, as we just said. And I'll have another one driving home. Just because it was easier than having to go and either buy a bottle of water or try to figure out where I was going to get cups of water to fill my thing right now. Especially with like the spacing, and a lot of places are the mobile order only. Well, all places are pretty much mobile order only. But otherwise, I thought it was fine for the most part. Everyone I observed did good, doing the social distancing, mask wearing, and even people like, had it down below their nose, or there was someone who was like running to try to see the Cavalcade and forgot to put it back on from their seat. Cast members were very quick to be like, oh, make sure to fix it, or, put your mask on, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, sorry. And I think like, if you're cognizant of like your physical distancing, then people tend to notice that, and then they will also be at least towards you. So that was a positive. So really no big issues. The only like big congested area, I think, is Main Street, just because everyone has to go in and down Main Street, and then people kind of stop right in the middle to take their pictures and stuff. So that was the only area that I thought, could get a little close, especially too when I was going back out, because it's so early. Most people are still coming in. So it was kind of tough to like navigate through that. I mean, it was fine. Like, it was fine. But that was my quick little trip to Magic Kingdom. I do think Katie is going to come back with me next week, and we're going to go do Epcot, do some of the festival, the holiday stuff, which I'm very excited for. I didn't do like much food and, snacks or any of that other than the Dole Whip, which I was very much looking forward to since they had released that. But that's gonna do it, guys. You know, if you guys have any questions about kind of how the parks were, you know, in this COVID era, feel free to drop them below. Or if you've been back to the parks, let me know what your experience was. I really appreciate hearing it. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all of that YouTube-y stuff. And see you later.